The immediate horror of this of our sport cannot be compared to the slow drifting of the weather. A bullet can end a human life today, whereas the climate merely threatens to change the horizon tomorrow. Esteemed judges, ladies and gentlemen, and my worthy opponents present today. Today, I am going firmly against the motion. The topic of climate change is a greater threat to humans than animals. Fear, hunger, and destruction and death are the things that few humans fear the most. Annually, millions and millions of people die due to various harm threats like wars, ethnic warfare, through terrorism, genocide, and gun-driven homicides. What is the reason behind all of this? Armed threats. People die in solitude, and people have their painful deaths because of armed threats. The first thing I would like to talk about armed threats is the immediacy of armed threats. The effects of armed threats are immediate, whereas the effects of climate threats are slow and subtle. As armed threats can immediately affect the environment, bringing erosion, bringing constant smoke, bringing death and pain to the surrounding, bringing damage to the infrastructure present in the environment. It is a big of a threat and constantly. Another thing I would like to talk about is that armed threats brings various proclaimed evils such as greed, discrimination, and hate within society. Another thing is that armed threats bring humanitarian disasters. Those disasters caused by human effects, cause and effects, and human devotion is called humanitarian effects. Armed threats bring hunger, and hunger is met with famine, pain is met with destruction, prosperity is met with death, and hope is met with despair. This is the reality of armed threats. Armed threats only don't affect a person or an individual physically, but it also affects a person mentally. It breaks someone internally, and it breaks the society that we live in. Armed threats bring such proclaimed evils such as despair. It brings hunger, it brings famine, it brings scarcity. It brings scarcity, the food, it brings scarcity, water. These are the various things that armed threats bring to us. Climate change can be controlled and can be prevented through various policies and various rules and regulations, and also through scientific innovations, whereas armed threats could actually directly go reverse to this. Scientific innovations such as nuclear weapons or war has actually caused armed threats to increase. Policies such as the policies present in the USA states that all citizens all these cause various including genocides and inhumane activities that happen in our society. I would also like to give the worst case scenario of this option. The worst case scenario of climate change is chronic drought and is widespread agricultural collapse, as well as the worst case scenario of armed threats is the nuclear war. When a chronic drought and widespread agricultural collapse happens, approximately from 100 to 183 million people will starve. But when a nuclear winter happens, approximately 5 billion people can go hungry as sun like for many years, and people will be in the sun. Dear educators, I would like to question that would you like to live in a world where there is problem, where muffled, where